What we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. This is Exposé coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria, every Monday on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook simultaneously. I'm your regular host, Tony Akinyemi. Don't forget, what we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. Hello and welcome. This is Exposé with Tony Akinyemi, and I'm your regular host. Welcome to this episode, which is a continuation of our series on the medicinal properties of certain herbs. To date, we have looked at 10 different herbs. I promised I'll be talking about, a few herbs here and there, samples in the whole lot. Once again, what we need is not more medication, but more education, for the best prescription is knowledge. Now, today we'll be talking about some very, very rather popular herbs. We've talked about ginger, which is very popular. We've talked about garlic, which is very popular. And now we want to talk about the third one that is very, very close to ginger, and that is curcuma longa, or turmeric. The active ingredient in turmeric is curcumin. So sometimes people use those two words interchangeably, either turmeric or curcumin. The botanical name is curcuma longa. Now, turmeric is a natural painkiller. It also helps in detoxifying the liver. So people dealing with liver conditions, I always suggest to them to include turmeric in different forms, either turmeric tea or turmeric powder or fresh turmeric root blended into their smoothie or added to, their soup or whatever it is that they're cooking, because it helps to detoxify the liver. Turmeric also has been used to treat arthritis because of its anti-inflammatory properties. Now, turmeric has been used to treat many disorders of the nervous system as well. And it has been used even in addressing, mild depression. It can also help to relieve psoriasis, a skin disease, and it can boost metabolic function and help to reduce body fat. Turmeric is used to also treat things like MS, which is multiple sclerosis, leukemia, which is cancer of the blood, melanoma, and Alzheimer's disease. Again, like I always caution, not one item, whether they be fruit or herb, or seed, or nut, or vegetable, whatever. Not one item alone, as a standalone, can cure these problems, but they can contribute their own quota in the treatment regimen. So we talk about these properties of turmeric not as a standalone cure for leukemia or multiple sclerosis or Alzheimer's disease, but definitely it will bring some value to the table if you add turmeric to your combo of treatment remedies. Now, when combined with cauliflower is a member of the cruciferous vegetable family. That's the same family that cabbage belongs to, broccoli belongs to, Brussels sprouts belong to that, kale belongs to that, okay? When you combine cauliflower with turmeric, it can actually help to prevent and to fight, prostate cancer, cancer of the pancreas, liver cancer, lung cancer, and what have you. All right. Now, turmeric also has antiseptic and antibacterial properties. And turmeric has anti-inflammatory properties that can help to reduce cancer risks if you take turmeric, for the long term. It may help to slow down the progression of Alzheimer's disease. And it can help to relieve inflammatory bowel syndrome, like IBS. It's also popularly referred to, like I said, as curcumin, and it's found in the popular cooking spice that is known as curry powder. Curry powder has turmeric as one of the ingredients that they use to make it, and that's what gives it that yellow or orangish color. that you see in curry powder and turmeric. Now, Thai restaurateurs would definitely be lost without turmeric because it's a critical ingredient, to curry the foods that they prepare. So again, there are different ways to include turmeric in your culinary arts. I normally, suggest that turmeric can be taken as turmeric tea, golden turmeric tea, regularly. How do you make golden turmeric tea? You can make coconut milk, for example. You blend your coconut, particularly baby coconuts. The mature coconut can also be used, but that one has a lot of shaft in it, that you have to sieve out of it. But if you use baby coconut, you just blend everything, it turns to milk. All right, there's no need for sieving. Anyhow, you can either buy coconut milk in the store, either liquid coconut milk or powdered coconut milk, or make your own coconut milk at home. And then you put the coconut milk in your blender. If you have raw, fresh turmeric root, which you can grow, by the way, at your backyard, you can grow it in pots, all right? And it comes out like, ginger at the end of the day, similar to the shape of ginger. It's roots, a kind of root vegetable. The turmeric portion is buried in the ground. So when you harvest it and you bring it out, you can wash it very well and clean it and drop fresh turmeric root into your blender with coconut milk. Or you can put a teaspoonful of turmeric powder in your coconut milk in your blender. All right. If you like, you may want to add a little bit of ginger to it and blend everything. So you have coconut milk, you have turmeric root, either fresh root or powder, you have ginger, you blend everything together in your blender, okay? And then you pour it into your cooking pot and you put it on fire and heat it up. Once it begins to boil, let it boil for only 1 minute, just 1 minute. And then you bring it down and you can sweeten with maple syrup or sweeten with honey. And that is your tea. That's golden turmeric tea. Very healthful, very tasty as well. Now, turmeric can also improve blood circulation, and it can help to boost memory function. It can help to relieve, most inflammatory conditions, including arthritis. It can help to lower blood cholesterol. It can help to fight, cancer of the blood, leukemia, which I alluded to earlier. It has anti-clotting effect, blood clots, anti-clotting effect. It has antibacterial effect as well. And for generations, people have used turmeric, in different ways, alongside with things like cinnamon, to treat the flu, the common cold, to stop the growth of harmful bacteria, to increase blood circulation by stimulating blood flow, and what have you. All right, so that is turmeric. Now, the next herb, number 12, we're going to be talking about is cinnamon. Now, cinnamon also works very fantastically, okay? It's a spice that regulates blood sugar by improving insulin sensitivity. If you go back to my series of videos on defeating diabetes, you will see that I mentioned the fact that diabetes can be caused by many factors. One, it could be that a person's pancreas is no longer producing insulin at all. That would be diabetes type 1. Or it is not producing sufficient insulin. That would be type 2. Or that it is actually producing sufficient insulin, but the cells of the body are resistant to the action of insulin. That is still type 2 as well, diabetes. Now, cinnamon has been found to help to regulate blood sugar so that blood sugar leaves the bloodstream and enters into the cells where the sugar is used, that is glucose, that is used to make ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the fuel for energy. All right. Now, the action, how cinnamon helps to make sugar to leave the bloodstream to go into the cell is by sharpening insulin sensitivity. or by overcoming insulin resistance, so that the cells are no longer resistant to the action of insulin, but they actually respond to the promptings of insulin, okay? That's what cinnamon does. So those who are dealing with diabetes, again, I tell them to use cinnamon in different ways. To use it either to make cinnamon tea, just put like a teaspoonful of cinnamon in your mug, you add hot water to it, and then you can sieve if you like, so that you don't have sediments at the bottom after brewing for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then you can sweeten with stevia or date, all right, and drink it as cinnamon tea. You can also add a teaspoonful of cinnamon powder to your smoothie, or you can cook your soup or make your beans or make your moi with cinnamon. Mix into it the same way you use curry as a spice, all right? By the way, there are, 4 different types of cinnamon. The one that I normally recommend is called Ceylon cinnamon, Ceylon, Ceylon cinnamon. That is the one that is said to have the lowest amount of a substance known as coumadin, so that you don't overdo coumadin. And long-term use of high amounts of coumadin may have implications for your liver. So because of that, I normally recommend Ceylon cinnamon. Okay, cinnamon also improves blood circulation. It helps to improve memory function, relieve arthritis, lower blood cholesterol, can help to fight cancer of the blood, has antibacterial effect, anti-clotting effect. Some of the same things that turmeric will do, cinnamon also will do it. And many cultures in folklore medicine, they have been using cinnamon to treat the flu, to increase circulation by stimulating blood flow, the common cold, to inhibit, the growth of harmful bacteria and what have you. All right. Now that is cinnamon. So you can use it in different ways in powder form. Cinnamon extract is also available in capsules. Okay. The active ingredient being cinnulin. So you can find the capsules in the form of cinnulin PF in capsule form in health food stores, which diabetic patients can take in helping to sharpen their insulin sensitivity. All right, we're going to go on a short break. When we come back, I've talked about turmeric and cinnamon in this first half. When we come back, we'll move on to an oil, a very wonderful oil. I won't let out the name right now until we come back after the break and see how this oil can be very useful to us in our day-to-day use. Don't go away. People are broke and they are not financially viable because they lack good money-making ideas. You may desire to have money, but if you don't have the knowledge of money and the knowledge of how to make money, money is a game. Every rule that you find in a game also applies to money. In a game, some win and some lose. The game of money, some people win money, some people lose money.
Native Financial Intelligence by Reverend Tony Akinyemi is a transformative guide to managing your finance with practical strategies rooted in biblical principles and common sense. Start your journey to financial empowerment today. Grab your copy now.
Welcome. This is still Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. What we need is not more medication, but more education, for the best prescription is knowledge. And don't forget, to be informed is to be transformed. To be uninformed is to be deformed. That's why I bring to you weekly wellness information for your health transformation. Now, I do hope that you're enjoying the series on the medicinal properties of certain herbs. Today, in the first half, we've talked about turmeric, otherwise known as curcumin. We have also talked about cinnamon, and I've highly recommended Ceylon cinnamon as a type of cinnamon that I personally recommend to people to use, okay, for different medicinal effects. Okay, in this second half of today's episode, I'll be talking about an oil. And the oil, I will first of all spell the name of the oil, and then I'll pronounce it, because the spelling is a little bit different from the way it is pronounced. The oil is spelled Jojoba. Jojoba oil. Okay? But it is pronounced jojoba oil, not jojoba oil. It's pronounced jojoba oil. The J is pronounced as H, jojoba oil. Now, Native Americans have long used jojoba oil to help to heal sores and wounds. And jojoba oil is commonly added to soaps, to shampoos, to cosmetics, and what have you. Now, it's a very stable oil, and it has demonstrated an ability to withstand both high pressure and high temperature. Now, the chemical composition of jojoba oil, closely resembles that of the skin's natural sebum. So it is easily absorbed and rarely causes allergic reactions, even in the most sensitive individuals. It's one oil that almost everybody can safely use without being concerned about the possibility of an allergic reaction. Now, jojoba oil has antimicrobial properties, which means it actually discourages the growth of some bacterial and fungal microbes that attack the skin. Okay? Now, the oil, jojoba oil, is actually composed of liquid wax esters rather than oil. And the body's natural sebum also contains wax esters, which act as a sort of natural moisturizer, an environmental barrier for the skin. Now, wax ester production steadily decreases as we get older. It decreases with age, thereby causing the skin, to appear dull and begin to emphasize wrinkles all over. Now, a reduced ester content in the skin can also lead to the development of conditions such as psoriasis, such as rosacea, such as dandruff, and what have you. Okay? Now, jojoba oil can prevent the skin from becoming too oily. It may help to treat things like acne, both by reducing sebum production and by protecting the skin from harmful bacteria. In addition to acne, jojoba oil has traditionally been used to treat canker sores, cold sores, athlete's foot, and even warts, warts. Jojoba oil contains many important nutrients. It has vitamin E, it has, the B vitamins, B complex. It has minerals like silicon, which is very good for the hair, for the nail, for the skin. It's got copper, which is another mineral very good for blood vessels, to make them strong and what have you. It also has zinc, which is good for many things. Zinc is good for wound healing. Zinc is good for sperm production. Zinc is good for boosting immunity and what have you. Now, it also contains a lot of iodine, by the way, which may be where jojoba, gets its ability to fight against bacterial and fungal infection because of the iodine content. Now, various uses of jojoba oil are, as follows. One, the oil can be used as a moisturizer on the skin. Jojoba can be used also as a body massage oil by massage therapists. But for that, it has to be mixed, with some other oils, as it does not have the slippery effect that is usually required for massaging. Now, jojoba oil can also be used as a hair conditioner because it serves both the purposes of hair oil as well as hair conditioner. Now, after shampooing your hair, you can pour a few drops of jojoba oil into the conditioner and then apply it to your hair. Then you can rinse your hair thoroughly, and then you're going to get a thick, shiny hair when you use jojoba oil on your hair. Jojoba oil also provides protection against dandruff, and it gives strength to the roots of our hair. Thus, it can help to control hair fall to a large extent. Jojoba oil can be used to also remove, eye makeup, like people who use liners and mascaras and eyeshadows and what have you. Now, you simply dip a cotton pad into the oil, jojoba oil, and apply directly over the eyelashes. Now, as these areas are very sensitive, you have to make sure you don't rub very harshly. In no time, you find that, the oil has removed all the makeups, and at the same time, make your lashes even more beautiful as well. Now, jojoba oil can also be used for cleansing facial makeup. You can similarly use jojoba oil for cleaning your cleaning blush, for foundation and lipstick, for women who are into all of those things. You can soak a cotton ball in jojoba oil and gently rub it over your face and lips, and then it will dissolve out all the makeup. Then you take a moist tissue to take out the remaining oil from your face. If your lips has a tendency to become dry and chapped very easily, then jojoba oil can act as lip balms as well on your lips, For topical use, all you need to do is to place a few drops of pure jojoba oil in your palms. And then you rub your hands together and gently massage the oil into the affected area of your body for topical use. Okay? Again, you never can tell. There may still be a few people that may experience some allergic reactions when jojoba oil is used, even though it has a very low propensity for inducing an allergic reaction. But in case you experience any skin reaction or skin reaction occurs when you apply jojoba oil, please just simply discontinue use. It can help as a moisturizer for skin and for hair to help psoriasis and dermatitis. These are things that jojoba oil can be used for. Okay, and you can find jojoba oil available, all over the place. It's available in health food stores. It's available in beauty clinics. It's available online. You can easily, order one and begin to use it. All right. I normally used to use coconut oil as lotion, but these days, occasionally, I also try jojoba oil, and I found it very useful. Now, before I close today, let me just add 2 more herbs, and then we will stop. We will conclude the series on herbs, and I'll leave you to go and do your research and finding out others. Now, let me talk about another herb, which will be our number 14, and that is Mucuna Pruriens. Mucuna. Pruriens is also known as velvet bean, and it's a vining plant native to India, Africa, the Pacific Islands, the West Indies, as well as other areas in the tropical regions of the world. Now, the name pruriens in Latin means itching sensation, which results from touching the exterior hairs found on the pods containing the seeds of the plant. Now, Mucuna Pruriens contains high concentrations of a natural L-dopa, as well as trace amounts of serotonin and nicotine. Now, according to William Rudolph, in an article published online sometimes in 2010, precisely June 7, 2010, okay, he says that Mucuna Pruriens shows promise with Parkinson's disease, okay? And it is gaining attention for the treatment of Parkinson's disease in conventional circles as well, most notably because there are fewer side effects associated with taking it than its synthetic counterpart. It has also shown to slow the progression of symptoms of Parkinson's disease, such as tremors, rigidity, and problems with balance. Now, clinical studies have indicated that using Mucuna Pruriens for a natural source of L-dopa induces a more rapid onset of symptoms relief compared to a synthetic alternative. Now, if you go to a health food store to buy Mucuna, you might find they might label it Dopa Mucuna or Mucuna Dopa. Okay? Different names that different manufacturers, different companies use. But it's the same thing. The same herb, Mucuna Pruriens. The active ingredient there is dopamine, dopa. All right. One of the criticisms of the synthetic version of L-dopa is that it loses its effectiveness in the long term. And it should be noted that there are no long-term efficacy studies for use of natural L-dopa, from Mucuna Pruriens. Now, again, a word of caution. Mucuna Pruriens should not be used during pregnancy or while breastfeeding. You have to consult a naturopath or other qualified health practitioners who understand the use of herbs before using this product. Now, Mucuna Pruriens may interact with prescription medications, such as antidepressants or Parkinson-specific drugs or MAO inhibitors. So be advised before you start indulging in it. And the final herb I want to talk about, which is our number 15, before we sign off, is Sea Buckthorn. Sea Buckthorn. SEA for sea, and then buckthorn, BUCKTHORN. Now, sea buckthorn is a unique plant source of omega-3, omega-6, omega-7, and omega-9. And it's a shrub that grows in Russia, in China, as well as in the Netherlands. Originally grown to prevent soil erosion, it has come to the forefront lately because of its rich nutritional profile. Now, according to Dr. David Blywis, a medical director, an MD, in an online article in Advanced Natural Medicine, which he published on July 14, 2010, he says, sea buckthorn's golden orange fruit provides hefty amounts of vitamin C, vitamin E, lycopene, zeaxanthin, and oils that are rich in essential fatty acids, as well as other healthful components that can benefit our eyesight. Now, a new study suggests that sea buckthorn can reduce the symptoms of dry eye too. Now, tears are essential to lubricate the eye, as well as maintain healthy vision. Now, they are made up of a combination of water, that is the tears that flow in our eyes, made up of a combination of water, oils, mucus, antibodies, and special proteins that help the eyes to resist infection. Now, these components are secreted by special glands that are located, around the eye. Now, dry eye, which is technically known as keratoconjunctivitis sicca, occurs when there is an imbalance in the tear system. The eyes either don't make enough tears or the tears evaporate too quickly. Now, unfortunately, conventional medicine doesn't have a cure for this irritating problem, but a new study out of Finland actually offers a glimmer of hope, as it were, in the form of a little-known nutrient that is called sea buckthorn. Now, researchers believe that the linolenic acid that is found in the oil of sea buckthorn is actually responsible for reducing inflammation that contributes to dry eye syndrome. Now, the vitamins C and E in sea buckthorn oil, being potent antioxidants, may also protect the eye from oxidative damage, by the way. Now, when used topically, emerging research suggests that sea buckthorn can actually help to ease eczema and other dry skin problems. It can also help to guard against sun damage that can lead to prematurely aged skin. Now, when taken orally, sea buckthorn can protect against mouth dryness. It can protect against gastric ulcers, against urinary tract inflammations, inflammation of the cervix, genital ulcers, as well as sinus inflammation. Now, there's also some preliminary evidence that sea buckthorn can ward off liver disease. Now, sea buckthorn is available, in supplement form as well as in the form of omega-7 capsules. Yeah, I have taken sea buckthorn drink before, made into something like juice. I've also taken sea buckthorn capsules before in the form of omega-7. All right, you may just go online and check it out. All right, this is how far we go with the sample herbs here and there that we want to talk about. Again, like I said, there are so many herbs out there that we can almost not exhaust them till Jesus comes. So we're going to limit ourselves to this. And next time, we're going to be looking at some other stuff as we continue in our series on medicinal herbs, as well as teas and spices and what have you. Thank you very much for spending your beautiful Monday evening with me again today. I pray that as the month of March progresses, you will keep marching forward and you keep marching into blessings, marching into favor in the name of Jesus Christ. Glory be to God. Enjoy the rest of the week. God bless you I love you. See you same time, same platform next week, God willing. Bye. People are broke and they are not financially viable because they lack good money-making ideas. You may desire to have money, but if you don't have the knowledge of money and the knowledge of how to make money, money is a game. Every rule that you find in a game also applies to money. In a game, some win and some lose. The game of money, some people win money, some people lose money.
Native Financial Intelligence by Reverend Tony Akinyemi is a transformative guide to managing your finance with practical strategies rooted in biblical principles and common sense. Start your journey to financial empowerment today. Grab your copy now.